Citizenship Training, NSTP Module 3, Academic Year 2022-2023. The learning objectives of this subject is to understand the principles undermining good citizenship, rights and responsibilities of citizens, service and voluntarism for national development. Secondly, to describe and analyze issues that relate to the good citizenship values, rights, and responsibilities of the student citizens in the country. Number 3, appreciate the significance of good citizenship towards the attainment of national development. What is meant by citizenship? Citizenship is a term denoting membership of a citizen in political society, which membership implies reciprocally a duty of allegiance on the part of member and a duty of protection on the part of the state. Kapag ikaw ay isang mamamayan ng Pilipinas, meron kang tungkulin or katapatan para maglingkod sa bayan. At sa hanay naman ng pamahalaan, ang obligasyon nito ay pangalagaan ang gobyerno o ang mga mamamayan. Who is citizen? A citizen is a person having a title citizenship. He is a member of democratic community who enjoys full civil and political rights, and it's accorded protection inside and outside the territory of the state. Who are the citizens of the Philippines? Article 4, Section 1 of the 1987 Constitution identify the following citizens of the Philippines. Those who are citizens of the Philippines at the time of the adoptions of the said Constitution. Number 2, those whose fathers or mothers are citizens of the Philippines, those born before January 17, 1973 of Filipino mothers, who elect Philippine citizenship upon reaching the age of majority, and those who are naturalized in accordance with law. A naturalized citizen of a particular country is someone who has legally become Filipino, although they were not born here. This will undergo a thorough judicial process. The Philippine Bill of Rights. Let us look at first the definition of human rights. Human rights is the basic rights and freedom to which all humans are entitled, and which include the right to life and liberty, freedom of thought and expressions, and equality before the law. There are 4 classifications of human rights. Number 1 is according to source. Number 2, according to aspect of life. Number 3, according to derogability. And number 4, according to recipients. According to source, letter A, natural moral rights. It's a God-given rights acknowledged by everybody to be morally good. These rights are unwritten, but by prevail as norms of society. They are accepted based on the conscience of mankind. Example, right to life, dignity, and self-development. Letter B, legal rights. Number 1 under that legal rights is the so-called constitutional rights. Those rights guaranteed in the Constitution, such as right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of the press and assembly, freedom of the press and assembly, freedom of religion, right to privacy, right to private correspondence, and so on. Statutory rights. Are those rights promulgated and passed by the legislative bodies? According to aspect of life. Letter A. Civil rights. Are those rights granted by a state for promotion of common welfare of an individual citizen? These guarantee the people from abuses of agents of the state and the exercise of the inherent power of the state. Example: rights to life, to own property, to marry, to enter any contracts, and to seek justice in the courts. Power of taxation. The rights of the state to require the citizens to share their property to the government by asking them to pay taxes. Number 2, power of eminent domain. This is the right of the state to take private property for the welfare of the people, but upon just compensation to the owner. Katulad ng mga pag-uway din ngayon sa ating kalsadahan. Yan yun. May mga bahay na tinibag, mayroong mga strukturang winasak, pero yun ay binayaran rin ng government. Police power. The power of the state to destroy private property if it becomes hazard or public nuisance to the community. Letter B. Political rights. These are rights conferred by the state to the people so that they may participate in government. These rights are guarantees against state abuse. They are referred as justiciable rights because they can immediately enforced once violated. They are also called negative rights or negative rights because the state is refrained from violating them. Example: right to life, to own property, to marry, to enter any contract, to seek justice in the courts. Letter C. Economic, social, and cultural rights. Those rights of the people to self-determination and to pursue economic, social, and cultural development and financial security. These rights ensure a life of dignity to people. On the other hand, they are called positive rights or programmable rights because their fulfillment depends upon the resources and political will of the state and what the state is expected to take effective measures in fulfilling them. Letter D. Social rights. In relation to one dealing with other people, like contract marriage, right to obtain education, right to rest and leisure. Letter E. Cultural rights. Rights with respect to one ethnic origin, belief, customs, and practices. According to derogability. Number 1. Absolute or non-derogable. These are rights cannot suspended, restricted, limited, or taken away even in emergency situation. They are as follows: right to life, right against torture and cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment, right to be recognized as a person before law, freedom against slavery and servitude, right to imprisoned due to non-payment of debt due to poverty, freedom from religion, right against ex post facto laws. By the way, ex post facto laws is most typically used to refer to a criminal statute that punishes action retroactively, thereby criminalizing conduct that was legal when originally performed. Number 2. Number 2 is non-absolute or derogable. Rights can be suspended or taken and may limited due to public morality, welfare, and security. This is the right to move freely, could be limited through imposition of curfews, martial laws, or pandemic. According to recipient, number 1, individual rights are those rights being accorded to individual. Some example individual rights include freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to privacy, and the rights to own property. Number 2, collective rights. These are rights of the society, those that can be enjoyed only in the company with others, also called as the people's right or solidarity rights. Example, rights to peaceably assemble, right to peace, right to development, right to self-determination, and right to environment.